Hello everyone, my name is Dominik Jakab, and in this video I will present my cybersecurity project for the Cybersecurity Masterclass by Teachbit. The presentation that I created in PowerPoint is just a sketch to help me structure the work that I performed. The presentation will be in Romanian, what's written, but I will speak in English and present you in English. Basically, on the content, I would like to describe myself in a few words in the first chapter. In the second one, I would like to present my project and also the requirements that were imposed. In the third one, I will show you how I solved the task, basically, and the problems that I encountered. And lastly, the conclusions after solving the task and my opinion. So let's get started. As I mentioned, I'm Dominik Jakab. I'm a structural engineer, graduated at civil engineering faculty at Polytechnic Timișoara. I graduated both bachelor and master degrees. Currently, I'm also enrolled in a PhD course at the same institution, at UPT. In the research field, I work also as a research assistant at Romanian Academy, at Timișoara branch, also in structural engineering. And lastly, I'm also an assistant professor at the civil engineering faculty at the steel structures and structural mechanics department. Now, going on the second chapter regarding the project and the requirements. Basically, the project encompasses all the notions that were gathered during the cybersecurity study. I also studied before, not just during this masterclass, but this was a good summary of all the notions from Linux and operating systems, from networking and security concepts and using security tools. In terms of the working environment, it was both local and also in cloud. In this sketch, I present a few of the technology that I use. Basically, I have a local network on my personal LAN that I created. It's a class C LAN 192.168.0. The router has .1 the IP, and I have different virtual machines. Okay, I have Windows, it's Windows 10, Kali Linux. Most of the work will be performed from Kali Linux. We also will have Ubuntu if necessary, and Metasploitable. Here are two IPs which are for version 2 and version 3, depending which we will use. In the internet, I created on the DigitalOcean platform a droplet on which WordPress is installed over Ubuntu, okay, and some of the tasks are performed on that droplet and on another one which was provided by Teachbit. Now, in terms of tasks, they were structured into three categories. The first one is reconnaissance and information gathering. The second one was gaining access, mainly pentesting, and the last one was prevention or the defensive side. Mainly they are structured more into the common task from the 5 steps which are commonly known from the hacking process. Now let's get started. We will begin with information gathering and reconnaissance. I will exit this presentation and show you step by step the task, not to have this too difficult between switching windows. Okay, so let's get started. In the beginning, I will set up my VPN. I use a paid version from Bitdefender. This is my IP. This is the public one. Just one second. All the project is presented here, but I have all the tasks, but I have much easier to show some also some sketch and what I want to show. And regarding the IP, you can see this is the public IP, and once I connect, let's say, to a server in Germany, I can choose whatever. Now it's connected, I will have this IP, it change, and look, it's the same one as here. Okay, so basically now I am protected. The first task was to scan the technologies which are existent on the following sites using build with blah. Okay, let's build with. I created an account using my Google Mail such that I can see detailed reports. And let's start with a big site, which is called Academy. Okay, I'll put it here. Look here to detailed technology profile, and we have the file. Okay, we have different categories. I will skip through the most important one and not waste time on what's not basically meaningful. So we have analytics, they have Facebook domain insights, they have Google Analytics, LinkedIn insights, and here on this column it's first detected, lastly detected, and for which technology they pay and which was also stopped. Basically you can see that they stopped Google Analytics in 2020, and it's also here with stopped, and they pay for userly, for example. I will go lower. We can see also the widgets in Cloudflare. They pay for Cloudflare Bot Manager, for Slack. They have a CAPTCHA, a security measure. They have e-commerce cart functionality. For framework, they have Ruby on Rails. The content delivery network, you can see Amazon, Cloudflare, DigitalOcean Spaces, Google Static Content, and so on and so forth. Now let's go to a Romanian site. Let's say Ian Cucut. Okay, copy, paste, detailed, and we see that they have Google Analytics also, widgets from Chrome, font awesome they stopped, and I see that they have Elementor. Basically Elementor is a plugin from WordPress, or their content managing system should be with WordPress. And if we go lower, we can see the language in Romanian.ro, it's Romanian site, Romanian domain, content delivery network, and here, okay, content management system, what I wanted to show. So they started with WordPress, and you can see detailed here the versions that they use. So they stopped basically version 6.0 in October 2022, and they made an update to 6.3, which is currently now. Okay, and they have also other technologies. I will go just to this one to terminate and very quickly in 1 minute and to go forward to the next task. Okay, so for without space, we have analytics. They have also TikTok, Google Analytics. They stop Google Analytics. Some widgets from Chrome, Cloudflare, and so on and so forth. Okay, from audio, video, they have also TikTok, video, YouTube, Zoom. They stop YouTube, Zoom, for example. Okay, so this was for Reconnaissance and scan. Then vulnerability assessment. We should scan this site, platformit.ro, provided by Teachbit, using wpscan from Kali Linux integrated tool, and also Pentest tools. So let's go to Pentest tools, free scans. Okay, but let's do it 1 second. I want to do it again. Well, it's the website Pentest tools site vulnerability scan. Okay, perfectly. So HTTP, and we have platformit.ro. Start scanning. And meanwhile, I will start my. Can I make this? No. Okay. I will start my Kali Linux. Okay, so I needed to pause it because Loom did not respond. Okay, so now I can start my Kali Linux virtual machine. Okay, and while it's starting, we see that we already have the report. I can download the report or check it here. Okay. Basically, we see that we have one very high vulnerability, one medium, 5 low, and 12 for info. Now, the fact that I want to mention is that this vulnerability scan, which is the free one, does not test into very depth of the problems, but we can assess basically at an appropriate level the vulnerability. So for that, you need to go for the paid version. Nonetheless, we work in demonstration purposes, at least for now. So basically, a very high vulnerability is this one. And if you check on the US government database, you see that you get the details regarding this. Basically, here it says that you can input a new writing rule in a proxy, and you can hijack basically by allowing an HTTP request smuggling attack into the web server, the Apache HTTP server. And the versions from 2.0 up to 2.4.55 are vulnerable. The solutions, or the solution which is recommended in the report, is to patch, to update at least to 2.4.56. Okay, and all these vulnerabilities are related to that one, the same solution, and the medium one, again, they have another type of attack that can be performed, but the same solution is here. And I will log in with root and start the terminal. Just checking the internet. Okay, we have 102 thing. Okay, works. Clear. I'll put myself here. Okay, and we have repeat scan, and this is basically the IP. How can I find out the IP? We go with ns lookup. And we see two IPs. I can take this one. I think it's in Cloudflare, so they have different servers. Okay. You can also put platform IT. Let's put platform IT. And not this, just scanning, because here shows, it will show you the users. Okay, just 1 second. So, and I need to be more patient. Okay, so we see that we have some data, the same web server, the Apache 2.4.50. They have WordPress version 6.4.1. We cannot see the main theme. It's protected, and basically these are just a simple scan. I will show you how to scan for users because I will need that for the credential, the man in the middle attack. Okay, so basically this is the scan, and I would like to share another vulnerability because here we don't see any. Just 1 second. And I solved here. This is again from Pentest Tools report, and this is from my website. Okay, the domain that I found, and I scanned it. And I have only a medium one, but it could be exploited. And the vulnerability is the following. Basically, it will list the VP includes folder. This is a snapshot of the vulnerability. So if someone wanted to exploit this, they could have done it if I did not scan it and afterwards patch it. Here it does not recommend basically a solution. I will make a separate video to show you how I've done it. Basically, I can just prove you that if you go here, you cannot see that folder which was listed because I already patched the vulnerability. Okay, so I showed you also how to do it, not just some solutions. Okay, I will close also this, and we can go forward. Now, finding 3 sites with WordPress versions which are less than 6.0. Okay. I use Notion currently for having a documentation. I like that it's free to integrate several users and they collaborate, and I basically use this cheat sheet. Okay, and I use this command to search. Now we will search on Google and just put this and search. The last time I did, I found very quickly, because the sites will differ a lot, this one. This I'm sure, and because it's HTTP, almost sure it's an older version. You either go with inspector, like inspect, or F12, and you can go here. Okay, Control F with WordPress, and look, they had version 4.2.36. So this is for sure to be exploited. Now let's check another one. University Block Service. And this is HTTPS. Let's check. Not here, but in the code. Okay, 6.4. Let's check this one. and if not, because you see they have also in their title some in their content, sorry, version, and sometimes it does not work properly. Searching for the version. WordPress. Okay, I cannot see the version. I won't lose time, but I will show, for example, let's say this one. This following are again HTTP. Let's say this is HTTPS. I previously searched, so mentorscap.no. WordPress, and this is 4.9.24 version, and it's a HTTPS site. So you see that not each HTTPS site has updated version. Okay, and this I also, it's a blog and others. Okay, now we finished with the first category of information gathering and recon. Let's go to the second one, which is the pen testing part or gaining access. In the first, we should perform a denial of service attack using 3 machines on the WordPress droplet. Okay, so this is my account, and I created a WordPress. I'll just show you just 1 second. What are droplets here? Droplets, WordPress, and this is my droplet. And here we can see the usage in terms of bandwidth, disk, and I will show after we perform a denial of service attack. Okay, on short denial of service attack, basically we load with so much traffic that the site cannot be accessed. So if I check the site here, it's just a simple site in WordPress, nothing fancy. I think I have 1 page or 2 pages just for me to test, and I have also a user. So if I want to log in, I need to go like this. Okay, and here I can log in. But let's say this site, and I will perform a denial service attack using hping3 in Kali, like in Windows 10, and GoldenEye in Ubuntu. I will choose Ubuntu. Okay, so let's start also Windows 10 network adapter. Okay, and also Ubuntu. Hopefully it won't crash. Okay. While this starts, I'll go into my documentation, and I have here, basically it's not just a simple denial of service, it's distributed because we have more than 1 machine. And this is the command for Linux. Okay, for Kali Linux. Copy Kali. I will clear my terminal. Again, I have the VPN already activated from the beginning. Okay, and I do this, I haven't mentioned in the beginning, but everything I do, it's ethical, it's on machines that I own or are provided by Teachbit, and it's in educational purposes. Okay, now the IP address is this one, paste, okay, Windows started, Ubuntu started. Okay, hopefully it won't crash. Neither the recording, nor the camera. Okay. I will do this not in the same time, because due to the high traffic, the router may fail, and if the router fails, everything will fail. But I will show you with the tools. So for this, I'm doing in a machine. If you will do this with, I don't have the firewall activated, it's in a virtual machine, which is safe. It's like a sandbox. But if you have everything activated like in a normal operating system, you will not be able to download Loic, and you need to disable firewall and this virus threat protection, real-time protection, such that you can execute Loic. Okay, more info, run anyway, and this is Loic, and we have 1.142 93.170.154 locked. I want on port 80 an HTTP attack. Okay, and on Ubuntu go to GoldenEye. Okay, the command is this one. If you do not have installed GoldenEye, just take this command git clone from this. If you search on internet, you find it, and this is the command. Basically run the script. Okay, 154. You can do this. If not, I need to activate. I can, because I'm on Windows, I need to activate guest editions, and I had some problems there. In some virtual machines it doesn't work. So no. Okay, it works. I will open one in incognito, and you will see when I launch the first attack. Just 1 second. So currently it started, and if I go here, you see it's loading extremely hard, and here it's not loading anymore. So basically it was one machine enough to do that. Okay, I will stop the attack. So I stop the attack. I will show you on the subsequent two. We will have the same. Hopefully the internet does not fail. Okay, now it works. I can, just 1 second, I want to show you also here. So here we can see also the load which increased. So in a few minutes we will see an increase in bandwidth, like here, okay, from exterior, from public inbound, no, public outbound, sorry. So this one increased due to that attack, and not so much. But let's do it with this one. So it started. Cancel. And I started also GoldenEye. again, it's taking a lot more to load. It find out, okay, but this, it's not working properly because my, okay, let's do it with this, and hopefully my router does not fail. It should not load. And okay, so now the internet is starting to fail because I cannot connect to the platform. I will leave it like 30 more seconds. It does not show anything in terms of error. Here it doesn't send anything, but here it works. And if we check, so the attack is successful because after more than 1 minute we cannot access the site. Now I will stop this from GoldenEye and from Kali. You can see the usage dropped, and let's access the website. I should. Okay. I think I should wait 1 minute because my router is pretty stressed right now. DigitalOcean. Let's go here. Okay, you see that now I can access it. Okay. And we should see here an increase. Okay, so basically here it's starting. You see it had no traffic and suddenly it increased, and the CPU and the load should increase more, but as I said, I can do that. I've seen yesterday, so look, yesterday I did it again and I had the CPU at almost 80%. So this was yesterday, okay, 72%. But I do not want to lose the record. Okay, so now it starts. Okay, basically here it was the attack. Okay, but it was success. Now the next attack is a man-in-the-middle attack to obtain the credentials of the users when they access a website. Kali and also Windows up to this stage and do it again. Okay, so man in the middle attack, I needed to restart the entire configuration. But on short, yeah, man in the middle attack. Basically, I want to intercept the traffic as a middleman between Windows 10 VM and the router. So in order to do that, I need to fool basically the router and the Windows virtual machine that I am the router. And all the traffic passes through me, and I will redirect the traffic to the router. Now, basically, we will use for this BetaCap tool, but before starting, we need to ensure that in Kali Linux, we enabled the routing process, and this needs to be checked with this command, okay, in this file. So I will copy it and I will insert in IP forward the value 1. If IP forward has the value 0, then the routing is not enabled, okay? So I will display it has value 1, so it's correct. Now, I will start BetaCap on interface /7. First, let me check on Windows 10 that everything is working. So we have an IP. I want to see the ARP table. The MAC address is okay. We see only the router .1, and we do not see Kali .102. You'll see why it's important. Now, google.com. Okay, we have internet access. Back to Kali. Net.show shows us the network. We have only our machine. Let's enable search. Netprobe on. It's searched. Again, net show. We see that the Windows virtual machine has .103 the IP address, and we have also the MAC. Now I want to set ARP spoof targets and the target IP 168.0.103. Let me check the other comments. Are spoof on, okay. Activating spoofing. Net sniff on. Okay. Now we see that we have traffic from Windows virtual machine. So here, so if I go to LinkedIn, let's say this, we should have in Kali Linux the traffic. Okay. Now let's go to an HTTP server. Let's delete the history, just copy this, such that we have this, but I don't want to load from cookies or anything else. Cache, delete, okay, cleared. Nothing, okay. And now I want to go here. And before, let's check again the ARP. We see that we do not have the same ARP. Just 1 second. This is because I have a problem with the DNS server, and sometimes it doesn't work. It's due to the infrastructure that I use. Now, in order to do that, I need to go in Kali, and I will open a new tab. And to do that, you have to flush the IP tables. And then you need to allow traffic to be intercepted. Forward, inbound, and outbound, okay, on ETH7. And in order to check that, you have this. this command, and at the top you see this one, these new rules. Okay, if we go back, let me exit. Okay, I want to check this. I will delete and do it again. So, battle cap, net show, net probe on, net show again, set ARP spoof targets, ARP spoof on, net sniff on. And now we should have the traffic. Google. And let's check. Now it's correct. You see that we have the same ARP from the router and the Kali Linux. Basically, that's how we know if somebody is sniffing. Okay. Now, let's go to that site 1.4. 93.170.93.171.54.pp login.php, and let's log in with admin test. All 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got an error, but a very interesting thing is displayed here. So look, the traffic, it intercepted a post HTTP form module, okay, to this IP using this cookie, and we see that we have the login credentials, meaning the user and the password. Okay, now we basically obtained and managed to have a successful man-in-the-middle attack. Even if we use an HTTPS site, this can be done by deprecating on certain web browsers, maybe on, I think on Edge. LinkedIn can be deprecated, on Google not so much, but mostly you can do that even with SSL strip or HTSS hijack, even in BetaCap, but not on every site works. Okay. Now, consider this successful. I will go back. We can check, and now again the ARP, we see that we went back, so basically in the Windows machine it's clear to be used again. Now the next attack, it's a password attack with Hydra on this website. Okay, we already cleared this. Okay, basically a password attack using Hydra. We use certain lists for user and passwords. These lists can be searched on Google. For example, if you search for sec list on GitHub, it has a lot. Daniel Meisler, sorry if the name is not 100% correct. For example, if you want passwords, you can download some of these text files with a lot of passwords. Even they have hashes. Okay, I basically used a lot of mostly this. You'll see that I did not manage to crack the password on that website. It's a matter of time, not a matter of the command being correct. I will show on my droplet, and I will show another tool which is easy to use. Okay, so let's start to describe HIDA. Basically, we use list of users, text files, list of passwords, and we will use the following. Let me copy it here. Activate VPN. It was activated, sorry. Just one second. That's my IP. Okay, we are hidden. Okay. And I will explain the code. No. So basically, after -e NSR, it's login with null or reverse login or another login as password. Okay, and we have the IP of platform IT. We can use NSLOOKUP to show it. I won't do it again, but it's very interesting. It's this. It's very important to understand the module that you are using for login in WordPress. For example, all these values can be intercepted either using just one second. It's called you can either use Burp Suite or you can use the interceptor from the web page until some point you get this body. But using Burp Suite, you get also this cookie module, which is very important because you can log on successfully on or failure and give this value. I will make a separate video for that to understand how to do this. I won't go into details any longer. Here I want a verbose, so to see in detail every iteration it performs and writing the output in HIDA.output. And what I forgot is to put here -f such that it stops whenever he hits a valid password. Okay, I will hit the command. You see it started basically, and by default it has 16 threads, so it uses 16 threads one time to do that. Okay, and I think I will need to restart. Okay, so I needed to restart the configuration. Now I will hit again the command, and here don't forget -f. Okay, not here, here, and you'll see it will check for each user, each password is in the subsequent list. And it won't stop until 442. That are the number of combinations of options between the usernames and passwords. Okay. Here you need to be careful, because if you do this, and if you have WordPress, for example, plugin with brute force attack, if you hit too many attempts per minute or at some seconds, it will block you immediately. So this is not necessarily the best way. You can limit it even to certain attempts per minute, or you can use more threads if you feel like you need it. So you can configure Hydra in a bit more complex way than it's explained here. But let's show you how to do this for my droplet 142. To see that there isn't a problem of command, it's a problem of time basically, and I tried with a lot of dictionaries and I couldn't find. I need to be just more inspired. Okay, you see what happened. I figured out something. I'll hit again and I will tell you afterwards to see the difference. You see that you have a line with green? That's the admin and password, and I did not forget to edit the user and the password, but I will let it finish and I will show you basically what's happened. So I have a valid password found, okay? And if I go cut, okay, I'll do it again very quickly. Just one second to be sure that I open the same file. Okay, I believe I forgot to go on desktop. I'm pretty sure of that. Okay, that's why. Okay, and I will hit again the command, but with -F. Okay. Now you see it perfectly. It's admin, also admin here, and if I check, I had word friends activated. That's why it did not succeed. And instead of you see, successful. Now let's try it with another tool. wpscan, and you can use wpscan in the same way. It's a bit simpler. You don't have that final part of checking for successful or unsuccessful. Let's say we put here the IP from platform IT, which is this one. And I want to enumerate the user such that I can reduce the number of iterations. And while I do that, this is the command that I will use. And I will use it also on my website, but you've seen that it works. So we have users contact Teachbit, and user. So they have a user called user, okay? And if I do this and put user means user, password file, again, root desktop, okay, and the target IP should be, let's use it like that. No valid passwords, okay? But if I use this on this, this by default has 5 threads, you can go to maximum 50. So valid user combination is this one. Again, successful. So it proves it's a matter of time, not a problem with the command. No. I consider the attack successful. I will go forward to an FTP attack on Metasploit. And I will show you this. I can close. Kali remains clear. And we need to power Metasploitable 2 in the beginning, and while it's powering I will show you it. So I performed several FTP exploits, and I found out one very simple, which is very interesting method on Netcat, using Netcat, sorry, and which is on Metasploitable 2, and the third one which is on Metasploitable 3. Again, it's the same type of method using Metasploit Framework, but there are some differences, and this is very interesting because I searched a lot to solve an issue, and I think it will help you for those who cannot find the solution. Okay, so basically for method 1, Netcat is an utility that uses connectivity between networking on TCP and UDP. And if I will scan, okay, we have the Metasploitable 2. Okay, now to not cheat, I will scan the network 24, and I won't use this such that it doesn't load so much. So I use basically a half scene scan, a stealth scan, a half TCP, because I search only for the scene, and it will show me basically some information. I will pause the video, not to wait for something which is not important. Okay, it finished. So we have the following users: the router, okay, the TP link router with point 1. Point 100, it's my phone. Point 101, it's my local host, my Windows. Point 104, it's Metasploitable. And on 104, I will perform a much deeper scan, and I will come back afterwards. Okay, it finished. So you see we have much more details. We have port 21, open, FTP. This is the exploit. You can use Metasploitable Framework, and Meta MSF console. Use an exploit, it will work. I want to show you that you can use even this one I exploited, but I will show you another easy method using Netcat. Basically, that exploit, if you search on web, it's a piece of code which was slipped. If you search for this vulnerability, and it lets you log in with any user you want, just that you have the smiley face at it. So okay, Netcat target IP 104, target port 21, the port for FTP. It started. Then I need to specify user, any user, whatever you would like, you can type there. Do not forget this. Password, and that's it. You assume it's broken because you will not see anything, because it started a shell, and you need to go on another terminal. And on another terminal, you need to introduce this. Okay, netcat -v, the target IP and the port, and it will start. Make sure you have, even in the beginning it's an error, but wait, because you need to show this. That's open. Afterwards, basically, you have gained access of the root, and that's all. Basically, exploiting with Netcat Metasploitable. Okay, whatever you like. Now, I will close this, and I will start Metasploitable 3. Now I'm going to start to show you a second alternative to exploit the FTP server in Metasploitable machine. Okay, and I will do it in version 3. So for version 2, you can use the exploit vs-ftpd 234 vector. Simple. I did not encounter any problem here. However, I want to show you for the version 3 of Metasploitable what I encountered, and it was basically a problem that could not be fixed with the classical solution that was recommended in the framework. Okay, and I searched quite a bit, so I'm sure that some may find it useful. Okay, the exploit in itself, I do not consider it something very difficult, but I want to show. So I will start Metasploitable version 3 on Ubuntu, which is based on Ubuntu, and Kali Linux. Okay, I will put all of this here. And I'm waiting for the virtual machines to start, okay? I'm on my LAN. Now I do not need to have any VPN activated, because I do it safely in my own local area, and I do not need to hide from or be protected from anyone else. Okay, the Metasploitable 3 already started, and I'm waiting for Kali Linux to start. Okay, it started. Went to the terminal. Just test for internet connection. Okay. Now I will scan the network, which is my local network. You've seen the IP address .102, but I want to find out the IP address of the Metasploitable version 3, and I won't use, even though I know the IP, or I can enter Metasploitable 3 with ifconfig to find out the IP. I want to show you how you can do it basically in a classical manner, scanning the address and find it. Okay. Now, while I'm waiting for this to finish, I will pause, not to waste time on something which is not meaningful. Okay, I will come back. Okay, the scanning with Nmap finished. I forgot to tell you what type of scanning. Basically, I did a scan with Nmap on the entire network, but it's a stealth scan, scene stealth scan. So basically, it's a half TCP scan. I'm only searching for the SYN packet, not for the entire TCP handshake, and I'm searching for open ports. So .1 is my router. You can see here TP link technologies. .100 it's my phone. .101 it's my Windows localhost. .106 it's basically Metasploitable, but I will show you, and 100.02 it's Kali Linux, but I will show you with a more detailed scan only on .16. Okay, we will do like this, and here -A for details regarding ports, regarding version, operating system, so on and so forth. So I will launch the scan and I will come back after it finished. Okay, it just finished. So for 106, for this IP address, we have, look, Metasploitable 3. Okay, on what? Metasploitable 3. So basically this is the virtual machine. And for the FTP server on port 21 TCP, which is open, we have Pro FTPD vulnerability, which we can search on Google. Okay, now I will open Metasploitable Framework with MSF console, and I will search for an exploit with the name Pro FTPD. Search Pro FTPD. Okay. We can use one of the last two exploits. I will use number 4 for FTPD mod copy executable. Okay, it's from 2015, and if you want to have more details, you can go into MSF console directory and find out for this exploit what are basically the information and how it works. We won't go into that. I will just say use for, and it entered the exploit that we mentioned. With show options command, we can see all the parameters that are implemented or we need to define. First are the target, it's the target IP basically, and that's here with our host. So we need to say set our host 192.168.0.106. Okay, then we need to specify the site path where the exploit will be deployed. Okay, so set site path, and we go with the folder var www, and we go one step further with .html. After that, we need to specify, if it hasn't been already specified, here we can see that it is, the L host, basically the machine that's listening, the Kali Linux, and we have the correct IP. The port, L port, we have a listening port here, a random port, can be used for 4444, and we need to specify the payload. Now, we go with the command show payloads, and for this I will use number 10, payload, a reverse Perl for the session to be created, the reverse TCP session. Set payload, and I will take this. Okay, paste, click. Now all these are basically the commands that I wrote in my documentation folder, and here are presented. Now we need to exploit. It executed a PHP payload, and now it should start a reverse TCP shell session. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. So when you have this error, exploitability due to failure executing payload, because this may require manual cleanup of this folder on the target. I can enter, because I also know the password, but let's say that you can manually clean up that folder and try again. I've already done that, and it does not solve the problem. The problem is with the firewall, and after a long search on Google and chat, I found out that issue, what I encountered, and how to overcome. So basically you need to specify a new rule in the firewall. First you need to check, okay, UFW status, and you see the ports and what is allowed in this case. Okay, now you need to specify a new rule for 106 to any port which is 4444. This rule has been added. I will check again, and now if you hit the exploit one more time, so if you try one more time, it deployed another payload, but this time it will work. You see, common shell session open, so basically now I have access. Okay, basically this is the root. These are the payloads. Let's say you want to remove Z1, Z1. Okay, lsdt.php. ls. So you see you have full root access. Let's say the name Linux Metasploitable. Okay, so this is how you exploit in a classical manner using Metasploitable Framework. a virtual machine like Metasploitable 3, okay, without that simple version of Netcat. It's with the code sleeve. Okay, going back to the task, I consider also this the task number 4 successfully performed, so we can go further. Due to the fact that I don't want to do something unethical, at least at this point, because I want to be sure whenever I search something that I'm fully hidden. I've basically generated a password attack in internet on my droplet, okay, again ethically, so I consider this optional attack number 5 to be included in that one, or similarly, and to be also successfully completed. Now I will close the virtual machines because I do not need them anymore. You can, I think with background, yes, you can background this session with sessions -i if you want to go back in the session at some point later, you can do that. But if you exit also MSF console, that session will be closed. So exit -y, and I will also close Kali Linux. Now, for the prevention module, you need to consider word fence, firewall, and scanner on the droplet and activate two-step authentication, two-factor authentication, and so on and so forth. Okay, let's go and do that. So on my website, I'm now with administrator, so this is my administrator user, and I will go to plugins. If you do not have WordFence activated, it will go there to add new plugin, download it, install it. It will request you what type of license. You can choose free license, and you can activate it through an email and through a code. Okay, basically I have the same free license. Now I activated WordFence, and we will go to the firewall. First, you will have the firewall here in learning mode, I think for 1 week, but after that you can specify to go in enabled and protected. Now let's check the task. Okay, prevent brute force attack. So you go here into firewall, and you need to enable, it's already enabled by default. From off, you need to click on the brute force protection, and you can specify how many login attempts. Here specify 3 maximum attempts. Okay, we leave 3, and you can specify also the time interval for which the user will be blocked if he surpasses the number of times allocated. No. After that, we should block the traffic from certain zones. That you go here to all options, blocking options. You should upgrade to premium if you want to block certain IPs. You can also do that, but not on regions. Look, I've already been attacked from the Russian Federation several times, and just 1 second. So here, I think at the firewall, the first, you can delay something here, okay, IP and country blocking, and you can list manually some IPs, but you do not have that location as it is presented in the all options here, okay, by zone. Now let's go to configuring two-factor authentication. That's here to login security. Now it's not enabled, so basically this I need to scan with my phone. I've already downloaded Google Authenticator on my phone, and after I scan this QR code here, it will give me from the Google Authenticator application, it will give me the password, and I can then also download the security codes. I will take my phone, just 1 second, and bear with me. While this app is starting. Should not take so much. Just 1 second. Okay, it started, and let's scan QR code. Okay, perfect. Allow. Okay, and now I have basically the code. Okay. Now I already downloaded the code. Just put this. Okay. Okay. So I hit install. You see that the hosting panel software was not recognized. Okay, I will go through the entire process just to show you. Agree, save, continue. Okay, and here will be at generating SSL certificate problem. Okay, because I have only an IP address, that's why. 2 attempts. Save and continue. It doesn't matter. You cannot do it. And don't click this, because if you do that, it will crash your site. I don't. Now, if I go to my website, but I need the other account, this one, and I will log in with admin. Okay, and I already had the SSL certificate provided by DataHost, the provider which allows me to host the site. But I just wanted to show you that it works. So basically, I have the SSL. I will go to certificate, again to the settings, and compared to the previous one, here it's activated. So I did basically the same steps as for my droplet. The only difference was the name domain, which I've already bought. Okay, so that's why you cannot activate with real simple SSL plugin without having a domain bought. Okay. Now, the third step, install and secure your PC with antivirus software and your passwords with a password manager, and introduce 5 users for 5 sites. Okay. I think I downloaded Avast. Okay, so I will install this just to show you. I will also use Malwarebytes. When I will switch my laptop configuration, I will get, I think, the paid version from Bitdefender for antivirus. I've already used that and I was pretty satisfied with the result. Okay, well, just for you to see that. And regarding password manager, I use Google Password Manager. You see I have 3 sites. For example, here I have 2 accounts on DigitalOcean. You need to know only one password, and all of that are kept here. And also Google lets you know if they are corrupted or not. You can add notes. You can, if I click here, it will show me the password. I can copy it, and when I log in on the site, I can just specify the user and it will already consider the password without me needing to do it manually. Install. While it's installing, I will add a new user. Okay, so I want to save it in my Google account, not locally on my device. Let's say for Facebook.com. Username admin test. Password doesn't matter. Testing account. Okay. Save. It was added here, and if I go to Facebook, and it already recognized the user and the password, I click here, login, and if this was my actual or somebody's actual credentials, it would have worked. Okay. Now, this is how you add users. Here you can basically, it's a free version, you can scan for malware. It's pretty good. Also this software. I will close it. I will wait for 1 second for Avast antivirus to install and show you that you can also scan with that. No. After this, also some other options for the password manager are KeePass, or Dashlane, or 1Password. Now, The fourth task will be create a procedure with 5 ways to increase the cybersecurity safety, basically reduce the hacking risk for the users or the employees of a company with a company having 50 employees. Okay, this list should include instructions with a minimum level of knowledge, technical knowledge. I've written some advice here. Just one second, prevent, not this. Just one second. Not this. Security procedure for company. Okay. So these are the first 5, and I also managed to think about some additional improvements. So the first one would be a strong authentication. Basically, enforce strong complex passwords, passphrases. In some cases, if you know more than one language, it might be advisable to use your knowledge also there. Run the first scan. Okay, that's how you run it. I will stop it. Stop. Okay. No. Also, the antivirus task was complete. While I was playing with Wi-Fi hacking and watching some videos from David Bombal, he mentioned that it was a hacker that went with an antenna in Tel Aviv and caught the handshake of numerous Wi-Fi networks, and 70% of them got hacked or got cracked basically in a few hours, because he used a very powerful computer with some modern GPUs, and it was just a problem of time and some rules. So basically most of them used very weak password rules like telephone numbers and something like that. So please try to make the life difficult for users that want to harm your system or gain access of your data. And in order to prevent you from forgetting the password, you should use a password manager. Another advice would be to implement two-factor authentication, as we performed on the WordPress plugin. Then the employee training. You should have some regular training sessions with a focus on phishing and some other cybersecurity threats which might be up to date. Then the IT staff should monitor and audit the system. You could implement an intrusion detection system to monitor network activity, and maybe from time to time, if the employees go from one job to another or from one VLAN to another, you should check regularly their permissions and their user accounts. Another good rule to follow would be the software updates, basically patching and going up to date with the software, because that patches will fix the vulnerabilities. However, I advise to be a bit careful here, because if you update immediately after the patches have been or are available, some may have also some bugs. So you should try to keep this with caution and also enable automatic updates with caution. Also, regarding the data protection, you should definitely have backup on-site and off-site, like locally and in cloud. Encrypt sensitive data to prevent unauthorized access. Some other considerations might be network segmentation, basically to prevent breaching in the entire network if there is a breach, incident response plan, develop and communicate a plan. The employees which are related to the threat and need to respond should have a very designated plan which should be respected in that case. Mobile device management, controlling what the employees can access or cannot access on their phone during working times. Secure Wi-Fi practices, which is linked to the first one, with complex passwords, secure networks with strong password and encryption. Also, you might consider having a separate guest for visitors. Okay. Regarding physical security, I cannot stress this anymore than to be very cautious when leaving your workstation. Just hitting the sleep button, it's enough such that you log out. Even if you go for a 5-minute break or take a coffee, you should not leave the screen in without you being at your workstation, because somebody may look in your screen and you may have private data or data from your work related, which should not be disclosed with anybody. In some cases, this might be considered criminal offense or violation of privacy. Also, you should restrict or have this rule to restrict physical access to the server rooms, and I may add into the building. So if somebody comes, they should have their IDs checked and should be designated to enter only in restricted spaces. And nonetheless, antivirus and anti-malware should be installed and regularly updated. Now, the fifth task was to register a domain in Cloudflare. Basically, this does the following thing. Okay. This does the following thing. If you have your site, for example, in Romania, and somebody searches you from another country, let's say United States, and it takes some time, a few seconds, for the site to load, you can load in the platform your site, have a copy of your site in other name servers that will host a dummy copy of your site, loading it much faster for the person in the United States, for example. I've done that in Cloudflare, and afterwards the task was to enable the prevention module against distributed denial of service attack. So I will show you in Cloudflare. Login. My website. So this works, okay? You see that it works. I wanted to show you the DNS Okay, this will be when we want to activate denial of service, but I wanted to show you the DNS, the name server, sorry. But I don't know where they are. But I will do this instead. I saved here a print screen, and while this loads, I'll go to data host. So this is my domain. I will go here to my domains, and here to administrate the name servers. Here are the name servers that were employed, and here are basically the services, and afterwards when I registered here, log in into my admin account and change this all the instructions from Cloudflare. Basically, I needed to replace the name servers from data server with the ones from cloud server, and then click done, and an email was sent. I basically did that. So I've put this here and clicked modify, and this also worked. You see that it also worked. And you go to DDos, Security DDos plugin, and here you should click deploy a DDoS override. Afterwards, it will have your site protected against distributed denial of service attack. Okay. I also click check site in Cloudflare, and or if you scan with nslookup command, you'll see several addresses. So look, it's a Cloudflare CDN proxy, 8 locations. Now I will start also with the conclusion, the final part of the presentation. So after the project, I think that it was very nice having the opportunity to use security concepts and apps as close as possible to reality. So basically we used websites in the internet, droplets in different infrastructures, and also some apps in local area. Then we used the most common attacks and some of the best practices in terms of prevention, which was quite nice. And I got used to exposing publicly my knowledge and understanding the importance of the presentation, not only the technical solution. In terms of personal conclusions, I consider that I reached an appropriate level, let's say, for 1 year practice, and I would like to go into the industry and have real experience with problems there, let's say, in cybersecurity. I would like to continue to present and show my work through articles or videos like this, and I want to prepare for future certificates in cybersecurity. Thank you for your attention. I'm sorry for having the video a bit long, too long, basically due to the continuous problems encountered with my framework. I hope it was not too boring, but also quite meaningful and useful for some. Look out for my next videos and things that will happen. Thank you. Bye bye.